Happy Earth Day, everyone, and happy birthday to the GLOBE program and community. What an incredible milestone to meet. 25 years in existence, almost 40,000 schools, over 41,000 teachers, over 200,000 GLOBE observers, and a whopping 200 million measurements. What an achievement. This, of course, would not be possible without you. Whether you are a student, a teacher or scientist, a citizen scientist, a US partner, a country coordinator, a GLOBE observer team member, if you work at SSAI, if you work in one of the regional coordination offices, if you are a GLOBE Implementation Office staff member, or a sponsor, each group here plays a role of great importance in the program. We have come this far in the 25 years of the program because of the cooperation, collaboration, and the determination of each of the groups to move GLOBE forward. And so while we celebrate the birthday of the program, we also celebrate its accomplishments and especially its community. This past year has tested everyone and also tested our community, our infrastructure, and ourselves. As we go through 2021, the 26th year of GLOBE, we will meet challenges and opportunities. I hope as a community, we will help each other through the challenges and help celebrate the opportunities. During this event today, we will view a new video about the Zika Education and Prevention Project, hear an update about the annual meeting in July, hear from our 4 federal sponsors, the Department of State, NSF, NOAA, and NASA. And finally, we'll have the IVSS drawing, something which I know many of you are really looking forward to. Before I go, I want to thank each one of you for the work that you do for GLOBE. And especially during this time, I want to wish all of you that you stay safe and healthy, and that I will see you virtually or in person in the next year or so at a meeting or at a GLOBE event. So thank you and happy birthday, GLOBE.
Urgent new warnings this evening about the Zika virus. Tonight, the head of the World Health Organization now sounding the alarm, saying it's, quote, spreading explosively. By one estimate, up to 4 million cases across North and South America in the next year.
In 2016, an outbreak of the Zika virus spread throughout South America, Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands, and Africa. Zika, like malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, chikungunya, and encephalitis, is spread by mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are actually more lethal to humans than any other animal on the planet. In response to the outbreak, the United States Department of State turned to GLOBE to develop a unique education project to help prevent the spread of Zika and other mosquito-borne diseases. Why did they choose GLOBE? Because the Global Learning and Observations to Benefit the Environment, or GLOBE program, is an international science and education program that connects students, teachers, and professional and citizen scientists from around the world in meaningful research about the environment. For the past 25 years, the GLOBE program has a valuable worldwide database of earth science measurements and an international network of schools and partnering organizations in more than 120 countries. GLOBE had the capacity to develop the project and to get results. Beginning in May 2018, the Zika Education and Prevention Project provided training to teachers, public health officials, citizen scientists, and students in 30 countries. Trainees have learned how to collect mosquito larvae samples, identify the types of mosquitoes that will develop from the larvae, map their location using the Mosquito Habitat Mapper app, and enter this data in the GLOBE database.
Mosquitoes are found in many parts of Kenya. As you can see, this place is swampy and marshy, which is an ideal place for breeding of mosquitoes.
Our activities consist on finding mosquitoes larvae, and we will identify them later.
And we use Globe Observer app Mosquito Habitat Mapper to take a photo of a place and to send data information to Globe.
Participants find standing water and pour into a collection container. Then they search for mosquito larvae. They use a Mosquito Habitat Mapper app to record the location, identify the type of larvae, snap a photo, and send the information to Globe, not forgetting to empty the standing water when done.
We have learned that bottle containers are probably the important breeding site of mosquito larvae. We went to a study site to raise some awareness to local people to stop mosquito-borne disease at the source.
We take a sample of the water, skim off the surface just to see if we can catch some mosquito larvae.
I read it from my family health. Clear.
Students also use the data in their own research about vector-borne diseases and have the opportunity to present their research at Globe's annual International Virtual Science Symposium. Scientists too study mosquitoes. At NASA, scientists use satellites to observe and keep records of conditions on Earth to learn how these conditions, changing over time, are affecting the distribution of mosquitoes and consequently mosquito-borne diseases.
This project is demonstrating that you can actually invest in the capacity of populations locally in different locations to gather very useful information. You know, sometimes diseases happen in a particular location and everybody is surprised that this disease is happening here. Looking at this kind of data can basically give us some intelligence or background information on what is going on in particular locations.
Public health officials are benefiting from the results of the Zika Education and Prevention Project. They use the data to determine if there will be an outbreak of Zika or other such disease based on the larvae count and the projected survival rates of mosquito larvae. The Globe Zika Education and Prevention Project has now built self-sustaining regional networks in Africa, Latin America and the Caribbean, and Asia and the Pacific. Mosquitoes may be the world's most dangerous animal, but monitoring efforts can bring early warning of potential disease outbreaks. As a result, students, teachers, and citizen scientists can help public health officials and professional scientists make important decisions about how to control the spread of Zika virus and other mosquito-borne diseases.
Thank you for joining us today and for your participation in the Globe program. I commend you for your continued advocacy for the health, well-being, and safety of your communities through STEM education. The passion you bring to these issues and the impact of your work around the world is impressive. The enthusiasm these young citizen scientists have as they engage in the Globe program and contribute to this collective community of scientists is inspiring. I would also like to acknowledge the professional staff at UCAR and the Globe Implementation Office for all of the hard work you put into making Globe such a successful program. As a federal sponsor of the Globe program, the Department of State directs U.S. missions overseas to help Globe expand each year to new countries, new areas of investigation, and new audiences. Often through programs like Globe, communities themselves can play a key role in gathering the data and building the evidence base we need to fight shared challenges such as Zika and climate change. By utilizing the best available science-based approaches, devising creative solutions, and employing citizen-led participatory methods, Globe Zika raised awareness of vector-borne disease among populations that are the most vulnerable to these risks. Equally important, Globe Zika advanced global health security. Awareness raising continues through the Globe Zika video, which is available online for the public to learn more about the Department of State-funded Zika project and the Globe program. Now, the addition of the Globe Observer app with associated campaigns such as the Trees Community Challenge can provide vital data to help address the climate crises. The Department of State congratulates the Globe program and looks forward to our continued support of Globe and the advancement of citizen science and STEM education. We are all in this together. We look forward to hearing about your fantastic achievements in the future.
Hello, my name is Autumn Burdick, and I am the Globe program's social media lead. Today, as part of our celebrations for Earth Day and our 26th year, I would like to introduce to you all some very special students, our Globe student bloggers.
Hello!
Hi, I'm Ranji Joshua Alayan from the Pearl of the Orient Seas, the Philippines.
I'm Hala. I come from a country of origin, where past and modern both join together.
My warmest greetings to the Globe community. I am Susanna Makoba and I'm from the beautiful country of South Africa.
Hi, my name is Christine and I'm coming to you from California, United States.
Hello, my name is Johannes. I'm from Estonia.
Hello everyone, good morning, afternoon or evening wherever in the world you are at right now. My name is Maya Pacher Arnold. I am 16 years old and I am a Globe student for Colegio de Todos Santos.
Hello everyone, I am Lakshmi Vinayar. I am 13 years old, studying in 8th standard at SMV HSS Pune in Kottayam district of Kerala. I am an Indian citizen.
Oh, here you are. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Xavier Malloy from South Africa. I live in a small town, not a small town, but a town called Impangeni, and that is in KwaZulu-Natal. And that's approximately over here. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Rinada Mohammed Sheikh. I'm 15 years old and I'm studying at grade 10 in Mizon School, Taqa, Dhafar, Sultanate of Oman.
Hello, my name is Hannah. I am 13 years old and got sent to the Gojo College Middle School.
All my life I've loved talking about the environment, conservation, and what we can do to improve our planet for the future.
Greetings, my name is Brandon Jones from the National Science Foundation and the Directorate for Geosciences. To say that last year, 2020, was remarkable would be an understatement. The twin viruses of COVID-19 and revealed systemic racism have shaken the very foundations of our world. All sectors have been impacted by the pandemic and sustained inequities, including the scientific enterprise. But in steps the GLOBE program. Drawing on technology, public participation in science, K-12 curriculum, teacher training, and international collaboration, for over a quarter of a century, GLOBE has demonstrated that we all can be Earth observers and contribute to the advancement of science, even in isolation. With the disruption of education and research practices, the next generation of STEM professionals will need upskilling and technical knowledge that sit well outside of traditional training norms. Fortunately, a program like GLOBE could be elevated as the new standard in preparing up-and-coming STEM professionals to contribute in the solution space for a more sustainable planet. Cheers to GLOBE and happy Earth Day 2021.
Hello, I'd like to tell you about the 2021 GLOBE Annual Meeting. The theme this year is Adapting to a Changing Globe, and our all-virtual meeting will take place from July 12th through July 16th, 2021. Our website is globe.gov/annual-meeting, and our hashtag is #GlobeMeeting2021. First, I'd like to share our annual meeting logistics team, and we will all be presenting today to you about our meeting. My name is Julie Malmberg. Coming up next is Emma Hagan, then Katie Chapman, and then Amy Barfield. Our agenda this year is exciting, and I wanted to share a few things with you. This agenda shows our local time zone of Mountain Time. However, if you go to the website, you can also see additional time zones. Most of the sessions will be recorded and available to people who register for the meeting, and we will also have an interactive poster session available throughout the week. I also wanted to highlight that we're going to have opportunities to learn about protocols, sessions where the community can present on what they're doing with GLOBE, and networking opportunities. Again, for more details, go to globe.gov/annual-meeting. This year, we're focusing on adapting to a changing globe. And in this, we have 3 strands, and these are responding to a changing globe, where we're hoping presenters will share how GLOBE has changed in the past 25 plus years. This can be related to the COVID-19 pandemic this past year, or also other ways GLOBE has evolved. Strand 2 is a welcoming globe. In this session, presenters will illustrate how to make GLOBE a more welcoming program. Topics can be related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then strand 3 is focused on STEM, teaching, and GLOBE. In this, presenters will address anything related to science, technology, engineering, math, teaching, and the GLOBE program.
Thanks, Julie, for getting us started. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about registration for this year's annual meeting. As you'll see in the table below, we have 3 registration tiers for this year's meeting. The first tier being our early bird registration, which will have a deadline of May 12th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time and will cost $95. Next is our regular registration, which will run from May 13th until July 1st and will cost $125. Our last tier is our late registration, which will run from July 2nd until July 7th and will cost $175. After July 7th, we will no longer be accepting registrations for this year's annual meeting. Please note that all of these costs will include a 5% credit card transaction fee. If you'd like to register for the meeting or to visit our frequently asked questions page, please visit our registration website at www.globe.gov/annual-meeting. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about the protocol sessions that we currently have planned for this year's meeting. Please note that this is our current plan and may change slightly before the meeting time. At the moment, we currently have 4 groupings of protocols that we have selected for training. The first grouping is our beginner grouping. This grouping is best for people who are new to GLOBE, however, it's open to anyone, and will include the following protocols: clouds, air temperature, relative humidity, and precipitation rain. Our next grouping is our intermediate grouping and will include land cover and tree height. And our last 2 groupings are our experienced groupings. These 2 groupings aren't any harder than the other groupings, but might be better for people who are more established within GLOBE. That being said, they are open to anyone, so anyone can register for them. The first of these is our mosquito habitat mapper and surface temperature protocols. Next, the next grouping will include carbon cycle introduction, carbon cycle standard site, carbon cycle non-standard site, and carbon cycle modeling. Please note that these protocol sessions will have limited capacities and attendees must be registered for them by the regular registration deadline of July 1st in order to attend. The reason for this is because some of these sessions may have required e-trainings before the attendees join that session. Now I'm going to pass things over to Katie Chapman to talk a little bit about our community sessions and our software.
We will be having a variety of community sessions, including lightning talks, which are 7 minutes each, report outs, which are 12 minutes each, and these are both very short presentations that will be followed by several minutes of question and answer. Teaching sessions are 25 minutes each, and this allows time for demonstration of a specific topic. Panels are also about 25 minutes each, and these will be for a thematic panel discussion with multiple presenters. Workshops can be 25 or 55 minutes each, and this will allow for more in-depth sharing of a protocol, learning activity, or other activity. This format will also include demonstration and hands-on participation by attendees. Posters will also be available throughout the week, and more information on how to engage with posters will be provided as we get closer to the meeting. Networking sessions will also be held at various times and dates to allow for maximum attendance and different time zones for our attendees. Registration is available through www.globe.gov/annual meeting. When you enter this address, you will automatically be routed to our registration software, Cvent. The annual meeting virtual event itself will also be held through Cvent's Attendee Hub platform. This will be entirely online. This event platform will be your central resource for finding all the meeting event links, recorded content, access to sessions, as well as being the connection point for participants to connect directly with each other, and so much more. We'll be sending additional details and creating how-to guides for how to access the platform to all registered attendees as we get closer to the meeting start date. Protocol sessions and certain interactive community sessions will be held through Zoom. You will access these links also through Attendee Hub, as we will be using specific software designed for hosting virtual poster sessions and networking sessions as well. You'll be accessing these through Attendee Hub, that central platform for the event. Attendees will be able to access these links and how-to guides and resources as we get closer to the meeting start date. Please check back on our frequently asked questions page for the annual meeting website for additional details as well as access to those how-to guides. Now, Amy is going to tell us more about the student experience.
Another great feature of the annual meeting is the student experience. This exclusive event is for students who have been selected out of a pool of high-scoring IVSS projects. This drawing will happen later in the video, so stay tuned. During the student experience, students will get to interact with each other and also partake in a series of planned activities events. This experience will happen at the same time as some of the adult programming. Even more, students will get to share their IVSS research during the student showcase. The student showcase will be formatted like the lightning talks, where students will have a few minutes to share their research, and then we'll be able to accept questions from the audience. This will happen over several days and will be available to everyone who's attending the annual meeting. For more information about the annual meeting and to register, please visit www.globe.gov/annual-meeting. For meeting-related questions, please contact us at globemeetings@ucar.edu. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, I'm John McLaughlin from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and I'm outside to wish you an excellent Earth Day and a happy birthday to the GLOBE program. Quarter century and counting is a milestone worth celebrating, especially for such a unique undertaking. Students and teachers, you are the heart of the GLOBE program and make it impactful. I am always impressed by the enthusiasm and creativity you bring to increasing our understanding of Earth's system, but never more so than during this COVID-19 pandemic. The past year has brought extreme challenges to education systems. In-person learning with restrictions on how people can interact, virtual learning, hybrid learning, sometimes not even knowing what the next day might look like. I want to thank you and congratulate you for your adaptability and perseverance to ensure genuine learning continues through it all. For many, part of the solution involved going outside more. Fortunately, outdoor learning is at the heart of GLOBE. Learning individually or in small groups has also been needed now more than ever. Toward that end, you submitted over 200 projects to the GLOBE International Virtual Science Symposium. I applaud all the submitters for finding safe ways to continue to do research through everything happening in the world. With that said, I will turn things over to the GLOBE Implementation Office and the Community Support Team to make the exciting announcements of the selected projects for the 2021 Symposium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, and welcome to the 2021 GLOBE International Virtual Science Symposium drawing. My name is Julie Malmberg, and I lead the education team at the GLOBE Implementation Office. I'm excited to get this section of the Earth Day 2021 video started. We had 242 incredible projects from all 6 GLOBE regions submitted this year, and we have 79 projects eligible for the drawing. In order to be eligible, a project had to receive a 4-star research badge, which is only awarded to projects that really stood out to the judges, and at least 2 other badges. Now let's hear from Amy about what each selected project will receive.
Howdy, friends. My name is Amy Barfield, and I am the lead of the IVSS. Each selected project will receive a stipend of $2,100 US and an invitation for up to 3 students to attend the 2021 GLOBE Annual Meeting Student Experience. As I described in the video earlier, this student experience is going to be a lot of fun. We will contact the teacher of each project shortly after this video plays in order to arrange the details.
Hi, my name is Islam Khair, and let's see who is selected from the Near East and North Africa region. مرحبا، أنا اسمي إسلام خير من مكتب جلوب الرئيسي. كل سنة وأنتم طيبين. تعالوا مع بعض نشوف مين اللي تم اختياره من إقليم الشرق الأدنى وشمال أفريقيا. And the selected project is the effect of pottery on brackish water in the KSA and its impact of soil and vegetation cover, from the students at the First Arka Secondary School at Riyadh in Saudi Arabia.
My name is Emma Hagan, and I'm a part of both the education and the administration teams at the GLOBE Implementation Office. I get the pleasure of selecting the project from the Africa region. And the selected project is assessing how environmental changes affect the distribution and dynamics of malaria in crop production using satellite-based NDVI from Sri Swaminarayan Academy in Kenya.
Hi, my name is Sarah Parsons, and I'm part of the education team at GIO. Let's select a project from the Latin American and Caribbean region. Hola, soy Sarah Parsons y trabajo con el equipo educativo en la Oficina de Implementación de GLOBE. Vamos a seleccionar un proyecto de la región de América Latina y el Caribe. And the selected project is, y el proyecto seleccionado es, los cambios que producen las estaciones en árboles y arbustos de Pujato, Argentina, from Escuela Primaria Particular Incorporada, number 1345, Nuestra Señora del Carmen in Argentina. Congratulations y felicitaciones.
Hi, I'm Roller Angel, and I'm a member of the Globe Community Support Team here at the Globe Implementation Office. I hope you all have a happy Earth Day. Now let's see the first project from the North America region. And the selected project is Investigation of Puerto Rico Communities focused on mosquito habitats and awareness, a NASA Seas internship project with Cassie Sophie.
Now let's find out who the second project from the North America region is. The selected project is Possible Effects of River Flooding on Soil Parameters and Tree Growth Along an Urban River from Crestwood High School in the United States.
Up next, I'm selecting the project from the Europe and Eurasia region. I'm excited to announce the project is Estudio Comparativo de la Temperatura Superficial entre Zonas Urbanizadas y Arboladas from IES Gredos School in Spain.
To wrap up the drawings, let's see who's selected from the Asia and Pacific region. The selected project is Effect of Population Density on Burrow Characteristics in the Fiddler Crab, Yucca Bengali, from Princess Chulaporn School, Science High School, Trang in Thailand. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for joining us. We would like to say a big thank you to the 191 judges who scored projects and provided feedback to the students. We would also like to say thank you to the teachers, scientists, U.S. partners, and country coordinators, and the RCOs for helping the students create these projects and get them uploaded to globe.gov. We are looking forward to seeing what the students research for the 2022 IVSS. Come check back in August 2021 for a theme and timeline. Thank you all so much for participating. And now I'd like to introduce our NASA Program Manager, Dr. Allison Leidner.
Happy Earth Day and happy 26th anniversary, Globe. When we kicked off our 25th anniversary celebrations last year, I certainly did not envision that a year later, the COVID-19 pandemic would still fully dominate our day-to-day life. For me, and I hope for all of you, Globe has been a meaningful and fun way to explore our environment and connect to the world. NASA's theme for Earth Day this year is connection, a topic at which Globe excels. From the projects in the International Virtual Science Symposium to the student research presented at our virtual global and regional meetings, to the participation in the community data challenges and campaigns, it is uplifting to see how you have all contributed to understanding our environment. And through the program, we have been able to maintain our personal connections too. I've seen firsthand how our working groups, U.S. partner forums, regional coordinating offices, country coordinators, U.S. partners, implementation office, data system teams, partners, teachers, students, and citizen scientists have all stayed connected and enabled our community to thrive. At the close of our 25th anniversary, I wanted to say that I'm so proud of the community and what we've accomplished. With nearly 200 million observations collected by millions of teachers, students, and citizen scientists, you have made a mark on this world. Thank you.